Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I have got two dexterity games that will have you cracking up with your friends. So I want to introduce them both at the same time because I think they could play back to back really well. The first one, Tasso Banana, is about 15 minutes to play and plays 2 to 6 players. And you have these lovely wooden banana pieces. And the one back here is called Hamster Roll that's been around for a while, but this is the newest printing of it. And yes, you do get this massive wooden wheel in it. This is for 2 to 4 players and takes about half an hour to play. So both these games you are done in under an hour. And again, you will be rolling as your fellow opponents and maybe you lose all of your bananas or your blocks and have to take them. The goal here, of course, in both of them is to get rid of all of your pieces first. And there are rules to placements. So in Tasso Banana, you have divvied up all the bananas amongst all the players in the game, so everyone starts with the same number of bananas. And on your turn, what you can do is place a banana in the leafy area. And also, I think you can tell right now, this is the board. The board has this magnetic component to it, so everything fits inside the box and the box becomes the board itself, which is really cool. So on your turn, you place a banana out inside the jungle area. It can hang over the edge as long as it doesn't fall onto the table, and it can't cross the starting line right here. That's your turn. In the beginning of the game, players are just going to be placing down these bananas in a variety of ways, and yes, you can place them going hoop across the top, rockety-rickety, going back and forth on their sides, whatever you want. And at some point, players are going to place bananas close enough together that on your turn, instead of placing a banana on the jungle floor, you place a banana on top of 2 other bananas, and you go something like this. And when you do that, as long as nothing falls, you're fine and you get to go again. So when you place a banana on top of 2 bananas that are not supporting any other bananas, you get to go again. And you could simply place again, but let's say there's a banana really close here to this banana. I'm not allowed to place on top of this banana here because it's supporting the other banana. So that's the rule with the base of your bananas. And of course, if you break the rules for some reason, let's say you try this thinking it was a really good play, someone points out you just broke the rules, you take that banana back, any bananas that fall on your turn, and then you take a banana from the previous player in their pool. And again, you want to get rid of your bananas first. So you can see how this is a strategic game of placing bananas in places that you think maybe you can take advantage of and that your fellow players cannot. And of course, you want to get rid of your bananas. If you want to make the game harder, you put out these banana leaves and you just place these randomly on the floor of the jungle, and your bananas can never touch these. And so it makes the space a lot more restrictive, and I think it makes it really fun. I played the very first time with the banana leaves, and so I think it's just a nice way to play with adults or maybe players who are really good with their dexterity skills, and it makes it a little bit more challenging. So tons and tons of fun here with Tasso Banana, and these bananas feel so good, these wooden bananas, and they have a little bit of an awkward shape with the kind of top part of the banana where it gathers at the bunch, and it has a nice curve to it. And there are a variety of ways to place your bananas so that they don't make it easy to stack with. And as you noticed, I play with my left hand, which is so weird. I played this game and Hamster Roll, and I'm a right-handed person, but I found that it was easier for me with my dexterity to play with my left hand. So fascinating, I don't know, insight into me. So let's move on to Hamster Roll. This is fascinating because this wheel has all these different black bars in them, and the wheel is going to roll along the table, and it always must roll in the same direction. So let's say the wheel's going to roll towards me. I've got it spaced a little bit over here so you can see it. Every player is going to get all of these different tiles. You've got your kind of like your block, you've got this guy, your yellow guy, a little flat square, a long rectangle, a medium-sized rectangle, And then different weights, you're gonna feel different weights with them as well. This blue one, this purple one, and you've got this weird awkward cylinder that rolls, of course, and is super, super hard to place. So you're gonna have this guy right here. This is your cone that begins the whole game, and you place it down in the center of a space, and the rule for starting is that it must be in the, not the adjacent space, but the one after the adjacent space. And so I'm just gonna go first, and I'm gonna place this guy right here, and I'm just gonna put it in there. Now notice it rolls a little bit, that's okay. If you wanna hold the wheel, you can also hold the wheel with your other hand, and you can even actually move other pieces with your piece, as long as you follow the rule, which is always build further. So the next player, let's say they've got these pieces, I'm just using one set, but they have their own set. Let's say they wanna place a tile, it has to be further along the wheel. And in this case, maybe it's actually really advantageous to slide this red one in here, because that means that the other players are going to have to place either one longer this way, meaning it reaches further in the wheel. It can start at the same place, but this one's actually longer. They could put this blue one here, or they would have to actually, whoop, it's already sliding, or they would have to go into the space even further up. Now, if anything falls out on your turn, you have to end your turn immediately, and if you haven't placed your tile yet, you take it back and you take anything that falls out. Things can be outside of the ring, the hamster roll, the hamster wheel, but it can't fall out entirely and touch the table. And then you just continue placing your pieces as the wheel continues rolling. You're going to be packed and packed with all of these different shapes. And you also have a rule, which I didn't break because I only have one set of colors out here. The other rule, you build further out, number one rule. The second rule is that you can't have the same color or the same shape, which is, they're all color coded, but they're also shape size. You can't have the same exact wooden block inside the same space, which is from black to black border. So that's another really, really fascinating rule that you have to play with, looking at what do you have left, what can you play, and maybe what you can do to set up your fellow players to spin the wheel and maybe knock out some of those tokens. The first player to get rid of all of their set of items, which is one of each, wins Hamster Roll. So lots of fun, lots of silliness, very, very family friendly, all of these games, and these dexterity challenges are fun for, again, beginning night, filler night, or maybe an entire dexterity gaming night. So check out Tasso Banana, check out Hamster Roll, lots of fun. I will say this packs up really nicely, and Hamster Roll is big. You have this big box right here. One of the reasons I wanted to have this box was this is the size because the wheel fits inside of that box. It's really, really lovely made, but it does take up a lot of space and there's a lot of empty space in the box. So for packing, not as easy, but Tasso Banana easier, and it does scale up to 6, which could be really, really fun. So that's going to be it for me. Have a grand old time and maybe challenge yourself to play with your, your non-dominant hand to see how well you are at dexterity challenges with that. All right, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye.